Like 10 years ago, I worked as a DJ at a radio station. And when I quit that job, when I put in my notice, my boss lost her mind. I had been working at that job for a couple years, and I think that they were just used to people sticking around forever and never leaving. But I had a 5-year plan, and there was another radio station that I really wanted to work at. It was like my dream job. 6 months later, I got that job. Crazy. Anyways, I put in my notice and I walked into one of the production rooms. I sat down and I handed her my notice, and I was like, I'm really sorry, but I found a new job, and so I have to leave. She got up and slammed the door in my face. Super mature. Very grown-up behavior, you know? Not long after that, she told me that she couldn't believe that after all of the hard work that she had put into me, that I was going to go and give all of that, like, skill or whatever to another station. The way she phrased it was, after all the work I put into you, which completely negates all the work I put in for myself. So that was f***ed up. Anyways, another thing I'd like to say, she used to make fun of me all the time for wearing a full face of makeup to work because it was like 2015, 2016. You know what the makeup looked like, okay? So it wasn't like amazing, but also like for the time, like it was in. Like I remember specifically one day I came in and I was like, hi, like filling out my time card, just doing my thing. And she's staring at me from across the room and I was like, what? And she goes, I don't really like what's going on with your face. I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I don't know. I like the skin, but I don't like the eyebrows and I don't like the eyeliner. You should really just do without that next time. And I was like, okay, no. Sorry, I like it this way and I'm gonna keep doing it this way. And so I did. Anyways, I mentioned that because nowadays she is always wearing a full face of makeup, very a la 2016, and pushing a makeup MLM. Anyways, you wanna know what made me the most angry? I gave a 2-week notice. I worked a week and then I got violently ill. I got the norovirus, okay? That's going around right now. This is actually what reminded me. Up until I got the Rona at the end of 2023, that was the sickest I had ever been. I blacked out for like 5 days. I was so sick I don't remember stuff. And my family had to call out for me. Finally, I ended up talking to her on the phone once I like came to, I'm so serious, it was like 5 straight days. She was like mad at me for f***ing up their whole week because like I was out and then someone needed to cover my show, which meant someone needed to work extra, which meant that everyone was unhappy because that's what happens when you work somewhere where being sick is like not allowed. And that's what made me the most angry. She said to me, she told me there was no excuse for being sick. It's up to me to make sure that I am putting like precautionary measures in place to make sure that I don't get sick. It's my job to make sure that I am well enough so that I never have to call out because calling out is unacceptable. Once again, I must put in preventative measures to make sure that I don't get sick. She's MAGA. She's MAGA. So just for a second, she got mad at me for norovirus. She got mad at me for being sick. She said, you need to do preventative measures to make sure that you don't get sick. Okay, great. But you're now a part of the same group that wouldn't wear masks. Anyways, I had a dream like a couple of weeks ago that in my dream, I spawned into the studio at the radio station. I was behind the mic. I spawned there and it was just dead air. And I knew that I had to like run my show. Every single thing was manual. Like every commercial played, every jingle, every song, every single thing was manually played in like a bunch of different programs. It was like a whole thing. Nothing was automated. My brain still has that in there somewhere. In my dream, I ran like an hour and a half of a show as if it was like 2015. And then I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I don't work there anymore, but that's in my brain somewhere. Isn't that crazy? Like just a set of events, like everything is just always so full circle. At the time, like when I was leaving that job, that was like very deeply damaging to me, emotionally, psychologically. But now I just feel bad for young me for having to deal with that. And I also feel bad for like her because she's in a very vulnerable position, I feel, and has been like taken advantage of by a bunch of like cults, essentially. I don't know. I hope she gets out of them someday. But I just wanted to talk about that because have you ever had a job where like you're told that you are never supposed to be sick and if you get sick, it's your fault? Because like I did. My very first job instilled into me deeply a fear of ever calling out. This also was the same lady that banned me from talking about politics on the air the day that Donald Trump announced his presidency because I got on the air and I made fun of him because I thought we were joking. I thought it was a joke. Haha. And she banned me from ever talking about politics again. She chewed me out for that. Here's another one. She didn't like the way I pronounced the word the. T-H-E. I'm not kidding. Because sometimes when you're reading things, you need to say the. It's not always the. she got mad that occasionally I would say the when like putting emphasis on something. She was like, you need to say the. And I started overthinking my speech to the point where I ended up with like a weird stutter. And I kind of still have that problem now. Fun fact, I never actually like finished my time there because I worked a week of my 2-week notice and then I got so violently ill and then like I didn't ever go back. I was still so sick when I started my new job that I went for a day, and then my new boss was like, you don't look so good. And I was like, yeah, I gotta go home. I'm so sorry. I'm still getting over this illness. I'm like, sorry, it won't happen again. And he's like, I don't really care that much. Like, we'll be fine. Things are automated here. And I was like, this is crazy. The lore from that time of my life is so deep and traumatizing and like terrible. And this stuff isn't like that bad in comparison to some other stuff, but like I used to get very upset thinking about this, and now I just think about it, I'm like, this is so funny. Like, time really does heal all wounds, because like I wish I could go back in time and tell young me that. Are you kidding me? She would eat that shit up. Anyways, thank you for listening to me rant for 6.5 minutes. Love you so much. Goodbye. Why not? Here's one. I don't feel like it's that bad. I feel like I've had crazier eyeliner in the last like year and a half than I did back then. Like, be so for real. This was not that bad. Here's another just for good measure. I know the hair is not it. You don't have to tell me, I know. Here's a picture of me actually at the radio station doing my job. It was not that bad, right? She was just trying to be mean and hurt my feelings, and it worked.
Wait guys, I messed up. Those last pictures were from 2016 and 2014. Here are some from 2015. I still don't think it's that bad. Like, the makeup isn't incredible, but I feel like the worst part is my Karen-ass haircut. Ha 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 ha. I'm 20 in this picture, and look like someone's middle-aged mom. This picture is pretty sick though. Don't even hate the eyeshadow, but I may be the only one. Anyways, that's all, bestie. I hope you have a great day or a lovely night or whatever time it is. Okay, love you. Bye-bye, sunshine.